Hello, we are starting lesson 13. This is again a 2-day lesson, and we are going to be looking at day 1. Day 1, when you watch the Eureka video for 13, you're going to watch it until you get to 5 minutes and 25 seconds. That's for day 1. When you read, when you watch the video, you're only going to watch 5 minutes and 25 seconds, and then you are going to work the day 1 page, which will be the word problem, and make sure that you don't do the word problem until you've watched the video first. So you'll be doing the word problem on page 77 for day 1. There's page 77. Then you'll be coming over. Make sure you write a statement that matches your word problem, and then you'll be continuing on to the problem set, and you are going to be doing problem A, B, C, and D. Please make sure that you use the new chip model on all of your problems. Your exit ticket will be E and F. So your exit ticket will be E and F for those problems. All right, so that's how far we're going to go on day 1, and then there'll be a video for you to watch for day 2. So let's go back. Oh, I was going to also tell you, I have been frustrated that the workspace that they give you for those problems are so tiny. So you might want to have a separate piece of paper. These are the problems that are on day 1. You'll notice that they're exactly the same problems. 31 take away 19 equals. I've just given the face-to-face students a little bit more space to be able to work their problems. And if you would like, you can either do it in this little box, but it's kind of tiny, or you can do it in on a separate piece of paper where you just write down the horizontal equation and then do the solving here. About 2 per page is what I'm finding is working well. So there's A and B, a little bit, they're same problems. Here's C and D, and then of course the exit ticket, just so you have a little bit more space to be able to do your problems. So that's just what you need to know, and make sure that you send your exit ticket to your teacher today. You're going to send it to them today. So you're going to go ahead, watch the video, and then we'll go over everything for day 1, and then there will be a second video for day 2 tomorrow. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll come back and we will talk about these problems. All righty then, pause the video. Okay, are you back? All right, let's take a look at our word problem for today. Make sure that you read the problem carefully before you start. And of course, we always use cubes. We always use cubes and read, draw, and write when we solve a word problem. So Mrs. Beachy went shopping with $42. That's going to be important, so we're circling that. She spent, here's a key word, in other words, some went away. She spent $18. How much money did she have left? All right, so I've circled my numbers. I've underlined the question. I've boxed the key words. I don't have any extra information that I need. Now I need to set this problem up to solve it. So I've read. And now I'm going to do the draw and then the write part. So on the drawing today, I'm going to set up the horizontal equation rather than using a model. So when I set up that horizontal equation, I want to figure out, is 42 my whole, and is 18 the whole, or is it a part? Well, Mrs. Beachy went shopping with $42, and she spent part of it. Some came out of the whole. So I know that $42 is my whole. And because she spent the money, I know some is going away. How much is going away? Well, $18 is going away. And that is my where I'm looking for my other part. So whole, part, and part. When I get finished, remember, my two parts have to add up to equal my whole if I was using a number bond, which we're not going to on this problem. Now, as you saw in the video, I am going to take my whole and set it up in a vertical equation, $42. I'm going to make sure I use my dollar sign. Take away the $18 that was shown. And before I go any farther, I want to make absolutely certain that I am now using the chip model. So I'm going to divide in half so that I have my tens on one side and my ones on the other side. Now there's a couple things that I really want you to pay attention to now that we're using the chip model. Remember that I'm always going to show my whole as I'm going to model the whole. So I have 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would make sure that my dots were fairly far apart from each other so that I have room to work with them. And I have 2 ones, 1 and 2. Now, just like we were doing when we were using the value discs, I want to take a close look at my whole. So I'm going to draw my magnifying glass because I need to look at whether or not I'm going to need to decompose a 10. So I'm asking myself the question, 2 ones take away 8 ones. I've got 2 ones. Can I take 8 ones away from 2 ones? Well, the answer is no. As you well can tell, there's not enough. So I'm going to need to decompose a 10. So I'm coming over to my tens. When we're decomposing a number on our chip model, we are going to use a slash. That number actually is not going anywhere. It is going to be exchanged or unbundled or decomposed into a group of 10 over in my ones. So I'm going to decompose that 10 using a slash to show it didn't go away. It's still there, but it's now a 10 ones. And again, I would try really hard to keep my dots with enough space in between so I can easily see that I have 10 ones. All right, so I've decomposed a 10. Now things have changed. I'm going to have to record that in my vertical model. I want to know how many ones do I have now? Do I still have 2 ones or do I have more than that? Well, I don't have 2 ones anymore, so just like we did before with our place value discs, we're going to say, nope, don't have 2 anymore. I now have 10 plus 2 more. Now I have 12 ones, and those 12 ones are going to be in the ones column because they're not it's still 10, but it's not a value disc of 10. So I now have 12 ones. Did my tens change? Well, I'm looking. I had to decompose a 10 that came over here. So now instead of having 4 tens, I only have 3 tens. And I'm going to put that up just a little bit higher. Made my magnifying glass pretty big. So there we go. So now that I have done that, I have shown my chip model. I'm going to come back and ask the question again. Can I do 12 ones take away 8 ones? Do I have enough that I can take 8 from 12? I think I can. So when we're going to take away or subtract those 8, instead of using a slash, we're going to actually X them out, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those 8 are actually going away. We're taking them away from the whole. I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've taken those 8 out and I've used an X to indicate that. And it shows me that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones left, which I am going to record. Now I'm looking at my tens. I'm asking the question. Can I do 3 tens take away 1 10, or taking 1 10 away from 3 tens? Well, I'm looking at my 3 tens, and I can see that, yes, I can take 1 10 away. So I'm Xing out 1 10 because it is leaving the whole, and now I am going to show that I only have 2 tens left. So 3 tens take away 1 10 is 2 tens. Therefore, I know that there is $24 left. $sign and 24. I'm going to read my whole equation. $42 take away $18 is $24. Now I'm not finished yet. I still need to write an answer or a word. I need to do my right part. So I'm saying Mrs. Beachy, that's an interesting name. Mrs. Beachy has $24 left. Oh, there goes my alarm. Hang on just a second. Sorry about my alarm ringing. All right, so if you got that and you came up with 24, congratulations. And I know that was really the first time you're seeing this worked on the page, but I'm hoping that that was successful for you. Now let's go to the next page, and remember that you need to write a statement about what you saw happen. Mrs. Beachy had $42 to shop with. She spent $18. Now she has $24 left. All right, so there you go on that part. So then we were coming over to these 4 problems, and I'm going to switch gears here, and I'm going to do them. I'm not going to do all of them this way, but I am going to do at least the first one so that you have a very good idea of how to do the chip model, because from now on, at least until we're finished with this section, we'll be using the chip model. So I'm looking at my whole and my part, and I'm looking for the missing part. I'm going to set my problem up with my whole on top, and I am taking away 19. I'm being very careful to make sure that my 9 ones lines up with my 1 ones and that my 1 10 lines up with my 3 10s. Now I have to create my chip model with my 10s and my 1s. And remember, I'm always going to model the whole, which is 31. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and 1, 1. Now, I'm going to ask myself the question after I take a really good look at my whole with my magnifying glass. If I said 1, 1, take away 9 ones, or can I take 9 away from 1? Well, I only have 1, so I'm going to have to decompose. I'm going to come into my 10s. Remember, when we decompose, we're going to use a slash. So that is decomposing with a little arrow showing that this didn't go away. It's still there. It's just transferring from the 10s to the 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make those dots pretty big, and remember 5 in a row. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, we need to record whatever we did here, we're going to record here. Do I still have just 1, 1? Well, no. Now I have 11 ones. Do I still have 3 10s? Well, that one went over here when I decomposed, but I don't have that many in my 10s anymore. I only have 2 10s. Once I have recorded my steps in my vertical, then I start again, asking the question, 11 ones take away 9 ones, or 9 ones from 11 ones. I'm going to start crossing out these 9 ones because that's what they're going away. So let's count. 1, use an X, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I took 9. That leaves me with 2. Took 9. It's leaving me with 2. Now I'm going to come to my 10s. I only had 2 10s after I decomposed. 2 10s take away 1 10. Well, 2 10s take away 1 10. I've got to take that 1 10 out, and that leaves me with just 1 10. So make sure that when you're taking things out that you X them out. Therefore, 31 take away 19 is 12. All right, so the rest of these I'm just going to show you so you can see what your answers are. For B, you should have had 22, and this one you did not need to decompose. So if you decomposed on that one, I'd be going, oops, you didn't need to, because I had 6 ones and I could take 4 ones away from that. So there was no decomposing on letter B. Now let's take a look at letter C. Letter C is 18. You should have had 4 10s and 11 ones, and you should have showed your work in your chip model. And letter D, you did have to decompose again. Your difference was 18 with 5 10s and 17 ones, and make sure you're showing that in your chip model. Of course, your last problem is the exit ticket, which is going to be letter E and F. Letter E and F, and if you want, you can work it right there on the page if you can write that small, or if you want, you can also send it on a second piece of paper so you have more space to be able to work. Ms. Starr wants you to be able to have enough space to be able to do all the things that you need to do. And be sure that you put your name on it, and you need to send it to your teacher, of course. And you, my friends, have a great day of learning until tomorrow. Bye-bye now.